Hello and welcome to Buckman's Model Mania. Today we're going to be working on issue, or what do they call it, phase 34 of the Batmobile by Fanhome DeAgostini. Last video I made all the comments about why I haven't done this for a while. So if you want to know why Batmobile's been missing from the channel for a little while, go watch it. That's all I'm going to say. So let's get to work on this thing. On here, we're going to attach the leaf springs to the car in a couple minutes. First, we have other things we have to do. So first things first, let's get these parts out without shooting them across the room while fighting with the bubble pack. So we have 34A and 34B. Left spring hanger, right spring hanger. Do they have, like they normally do? They do. Don't know if you can see if we can get it to focus. There's the R, there's the L. So we've got those two pieces. Two of 34C, which is the rear hanger. Get a pair of tweezers over here. Those in the center, since they're they're universal. 34D. They call them shackle pins. Looks like a U-bolt to me. We've got some more nuts like we did last time. That's going to go on those two pins. 34F, we have two of them. They are shock absorber springs. What are these two little things? 34G, shackle outer. Not sure. Let me feel. Yeah, these are metal. Wasn't sure if they were plastic or metal. They're pretty sure they're metal. And then we've got some AJM screws. Does that mean they're Joker made? And then some EM screws. Okay, so the first thing they're going to have you do is take 34A. Let's turn this the right way around. 34A would be the left. Okay. They're going to have you take this piece here and through these holes, that's where you're going to put the AJM screw, or an AJM screw. You have two of them. If you're building this, you'd have two of them. So you've got one for each plus a spare. The first thing I'm going to do is see if it's threaded on both sides. So this is going to go on here like this. They show the screw coming in from the outside. That side is threaded. Both sides are threaded, so this could be an adventure in putting the screw in. Let me see, will this, yeah, the PH1 will fit. I'm just going to put the oil on the end. We're going to take it, well, actually, since it is threaded on both sides, what we're going to do is we're going to outsmart the engineers who designed this, and we're going to run the screw all the way through. Run the screw all the way through so that I have threads cut on both sides and I'm not trying to fight with the screw when I'm putting it through the actual shock absorber, or not shock absorber, the spring. This is where we run into a little bit of a problem because it's not 100% straight. So I'm going to have to use the leaf spring to shift it over to where it hits that other hole. You can see it there. It did not go in 100% straight. And that is why this side, at least, should have been non-threaded. So let's see what we can do here. Put this in here. Start the screw through. Or start it back through. So that is where it hit the other side. Now if I can figure out, that should be right. If this is too difficult to get to line up, what I will actually do is come back with, I'll come back with a drill and just, or not even a drill, probably just a file to straighten that out, to clean out this side so that the other side is the only spot that I got to worry about. And maybe, let's take a look. It looks like, come on, focus. I can see the end of the screw there. So hopefully that is good. And I'm going to, yeah, that's as far as she's going to go. Let me see if I can back it out and get it to actually catch a little bit sooner. Because I hate when my screws don't at least go flush on the other side. Nope, that's as far as it's going to go. Okay, so let's do the same thing on this side. They have it coming in from the outside, so let's dip this one in the oil. I'm going to do the exact same thing. Put it through from the outside, which also I just noticed the outside is the shorter tab. So we're going to put it through there. Go all the way through and see if we line up with this one. Would be nice if it did line up, because then it would not be one of these things I'm jockeying it around to try and hit that other hole. This time it looks like, nope, not quite. Very close. It's a couple of millimeters off once it's over there, so have to do the same thing. Work with it a little bit to get it to line up on the opposite side, the inner side. So going through. Take a look from the inside here and see. Back it off of here and see if I can figure out exactly which way I have to go with the screw. It looks so close. Let's try it. Let's see what happens if I... Oh, look at that. I think... Yep. That one's caught as well. Okay. So that's that part. Then what we're doing on the opposite side, on this end, go ahead and set this like this, move those shocks out of the way. We're going to take these two pieces here. Just looking to see. Oh, interesting. So the shackle pin, these are going to go in. I'm looking at this. This has got to go down like that. This will go, wow. Okay, does not go all the way inside. The shackle pin is going to come from the inside to the outside. Dip this in a little bit of oil. So the shackle pin, and what I'm going to do is, to make it easy on myself, is I'm going to put it through this piece, and then I'm going to slide it onto the end of the leaf spring. It goes through like that. You got the two ends poking out here for the nuts to attach to, but you need to put this little, let's see, slot the two pins through the first shackle with arrow. Finally secure this assembly with two nuts using nut wrench previously supplied. The first shackle outer. Okay, this is the shackle outer, and the narrower end goes towards the leaf spring, so it'll go on here like this. This is going to be very interesting to hold everything together at once. So it's going to go on here like that. Narrower end is over towards my thumb. And we take these nuts. There are 4 of them. Careful not to lose any. Same thing as I did in the last. Actually, was it the last? No, it wasn't. Was it this episode? I don't know. I think it was the last episode. But same thing I did here. We're going to put the nut on here. Hopefully it will thread on without any issue. There's the first one. The second one on here. Do not lose the nuts. That's one thing that I'm surprised they did not do with these, is give you any spares. Because it would not be very hard to lose these things. They are so small. Carpet Monster likes things that are small. Especially when you have to jockey these things a little bit to get them into place. And I did not use my tip that I gave last time, which is to back the screw out to get the two inclined planes between, or back the nut out to get the inclined planes of the nut and the screw to line up. The reason, just realized, the reason for this plate here is so that the plate there is so that you don't tend to back those nuts out as this flexes. If it flexes, it doesn't move at all. It will move a little bit as the weight of the car is on these springs, because these leaf springs actually look like they're working leaf springs. So we're going to do the exact same thing on the other side, which means if you don't want to watch it a second time, this is the time to fast forward. Put it through the outside to the inside, or from the inside to the outside, sorry. Put it through the leaf spring. Put the little plate on top. And then very carefully put the nuts on there. Should you lose a nut, or say 2, first contact Fanhome and say, I need this issue again. And then you can put it together as long as you're still able to get to this part. And I don't think actually once you attach this to the car you will be able to. But you could feasibly get away with just using one nut on each of the U-bolts. Come on, get over all the way. There we go. It wasn't pushed over all the way. Interesting. Did I tighten this one up too much? because that one's got some play to it. I did. It was over tight. So these do swing a little bit. Let me go ahead and tighten these up. And my phone just made a noise, so I'm going to go see. Might be my wife texting me, which is odd that I have no sound. Back that off a hair. Tighten that one. Matter of fact, I wonder. Yeah, I got to loosen both of them. That one's hair too tight. Okay. So I will be right back after I find out why my phone just made a noise. Okay, I am back. It turns out that my phone was turned completely silent, so I didn't hear it at all. Interesting. Looks like it's silent still. I just turned it from silent to okay. It is on bell so that if I get a text, I'll know. What was I doing? Okay. So these springs are now going to go on here on the very end of these rods. This could be a little bit interesting to get into place. And I'm going to leave them off right now because what's going to happen when I try and put the chassis or when I try and put these onto the chassis, it's not going to stay in place and the springs very easily could fall off. Oh, okay, never mind, because we do bolt it down completely. But still, until I have the chassis over here, I'm not going to leave those springs on there. Oh, and very nice. Love the way they do this, guys, because they do all these details on the engine, which, by the way, are wrong. And then they tell you to turn it over and set the car onto the engine. Not going to do that. Let me get something to set it on so that I'm not breaking the engine by putting the rear of the car on. I'll be right back. Okay, I am back, and so I'm going to put this on here the way it's supposed to go, which is like this. These two pieces here are going to match up here. I'm going to kind of situate it first, get a good idea of how it's going to go on here. Then I'm going to work with the springs. Actually, let me see something. That is a much better idea. Rather than sitting there trying to put them on here into these cylinders, drop them into the cylinders instead. So what's blocking? Okay, that's what's blocking me here. So I'm catching there. Interestingly, let's see if we can get everything to line up. Okay, that's in place. Got the back in place. There must be some serious weight on this thing because these springs are all the way out. I mean, the springs aren't even in play right now. Just looking. And it does show in the picture right there that the springs are really not a player even. So EM screws, 4 each. 4 each, 2 for here, 2 for here, and then there's going to be 2 more on the other side once these are in place. dip them in the Earl. And I'm sure that as the screws go into place, that this will actually start to put the springs into the right place, because they're kind of wonky right now. There's the first two, just getting them started. Do the same with the other two. And I'm actually going to get all 6 of them started before I tighten any of them all the way down. He says confidently, knowing full well that he has said that before and changed his mind halfway through the process. Wait, was there a voiceover? Sorry. Just being a little bit silly. Just caught the end of the chassis with my sweatshirt. So now that one is in place. Those are both in place. So let me get the other 2 EM screws out. And I'm going to get them started so that I know everything will go together. And much as I hate to, I'm actually setting this up on the... No, that's not going to work that way. Set that there. And it is actually sitting a little bit on the engine. Well, there went the springs. Okay, so let me see if I can find them. Not a good process at all. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Didn't have to look very hard. They were pretty much right in place, right in my lap almost. But as you can see, when you turn it over, and you will turn it over to put these screws in, it falls down and then the springs fall out. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put them on like they said originally. See if I can line them both up while I'm doing this, because it is a little bit, like I said, it's a little bit wonky. Get these lined back up. There's that one. So we can pop this screw in. That one started. Get this other one started. Once I get the socket actually into the hole, there we go. And contrary to the instructions, where the instructions have you tighten the bottom 4 screws up first, I'm going to tighten these 2 screws first, since I have it turned over this way. Then I can turn it back over and tighten the other 4 screws. And again, this is one of those times that the threads actually being cut into the die cast would be nice. But Fanhome doesn't do that. Okay, there's that one. And it's not Fanhome, I think it might be IXO who actually did this kit, but it's something that could have been done to make the kit more user-friendly. Because it's very easy. Well, a lot of people have broken screws on these builds over the years because of how hard you have to push to get them to go in. That's not... PH1's better for these screws, by the way. What's funny is when you see somebody use an electric screwdriver on things like this, which to me is insane, because if you're either going to over torque it or you're going to strip out threads, even the little ones. Using a regular screwdriver, not strip out threads, strip out the head on the screw. I do occasionally get the screw heads to strip out. Fortunately, I'm never planning on taking these back apart. Okay, there's that one. There's that one. Make sure these two are good. Then I'll double check the book after we pick this up. Wire fell off the engine. A lot of wires will come off this engine. As they fall off, if I can't identify immediately where they go, I'm leaving them off. They're details that really won't matter in the long run. And I was correct. That is all there is to do in this stage. Hope you're enjoying the build. I'm kind of getting back into it after this being the second video. Like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon to be notified of, well, if you are enjoying the build, or if you want to see more of the build, like and subscribe, hit the bell icon to be notified of whenever I post new content. Leave a comment. I will answer. I love comments. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Have a great day. Have a great day tomorrow, and I will see you in the next video or stream.
Model mania, hard work models, plastic modeling, wooden models. Workman's model mania, hard work models, plastic modeling, wooden models.